This is not a drill. If you thought Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari was the craziest F1 news you were going to get this year, what about Adrian Newey? 2006, since the inception of the Red Bull Formula 1 team, he's been their technical director, and now it's been widely reported that he's going to leave. Chaos, insane, and we don't know where he's going, but it is being widely reported by multiple sources that Adrian Newey's time at Red Bull Racing is going to come to an end. The knock-on effects of this, I think, are going to be big. What's Max going to do? This could be the straw that breaks Camel's back. This could be the thing that pushes Max out the door. Maybe. My name's Tommo. Let's talk about it. So let's start with how this story actually broke, okay? Toby Groner from Automotor and Sport, I'm sorry Toby if I butchered the pronunciation of your name, put this out at 2:52 PM today, UK time. Adrian Newey set to leave Red Bull according to our sources. We expect him to announce his decision soon, more on the exit date and who might get his service in the future in our Amos story. Okay, you saw this come out and, you know, Toby's a very, very legit source. He is one of the most legit sources out there. So I saw this and I was like, they wouldn't be talking about this. They wouldn't be talking about this unless they were very, very sure it was going to happen. Then the floodgates opened. Next I saw it, Autosport, having a little talk about it. Adrian Newey set to leave Red Bull. Adrian Newey has told team management that he's leaving Red Bull according to information obtained by Autosport, so independently of Amos. Then Andrew Benson, BBC Sport, Newey to leave Red Bull over Horner allegations. Certainly in this article, very much connecting the allegations towards Christian Horner earlier this year and Adrian's decision to walk away, the interesting part here. So his decision to leave Red Bull was first reported by Germany's Automotor and Sport, but the information has been independently verified by BBC Sport with higher level sources close to Red Bull, and Newey confirmed his desire to leave stems from his unhappiness over the situation involving Horner, which has led to a multifaceted power struggle at Red Bull. Jos Verstappen saying what he did about Christian Horner, that his position was untenable long term. When enough time passes, the news cycle moves on. Jos said what he said, things have carried on, there's been not much talk about Christian's future, and the instability at Red Bull, by design, by Red Bull, they put as little out there as possible. But this is huge. Adrian Newey is huge. He's been at that team for what, this is 18 years now, since 2006. And look, maybe he was thinking about leaving anyway, okay? Newey's been in this game for a very, 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 very long time, back to the late in-house days in the late 80s, early 90s. So his time is going to come to an end eventually. And look, what is interesting, and we don't know yet, is whether he is leaving to another team. Is he taking up an alternative offer elsewhere, or is he just deciding that, you know what, I've done my bit, I'm happy, F1, you know what, that circus isn't for me anymore. And look, the reason I mention Max Verstappen's future in this is because he has talked about what it would take for him to leave the team. And well, let's look at the quote. I mean, if this isn't kind of exactly that, I've always said, especially after Dietrich Mateschitz passing, with everyone in the team, that I find it really important that we keep the key team together, because that's how we've performed really well, and that's how we will perform really well in the future. Well, I mean, you can argue, of course, Christian has done, you know, the work he's done at that team has been crucial, okay? Leadership. But Adrian Newey, he's the most gifted, the most well-respected technical mind in the history of the sport. If Newey goes, you know, 2026 onwards, Newey isn't going to be overseeing the development of that car. We don't even have those new aero regulations locked in yet, do we? I mean, there's always going to be like Red Bull developing their own engine. There's a lot of unknowns around that, a lot of risks around that. Now, not having Adrian Newey at that team, if anything's going to push Max out, surely this could be it. I mean, if you're Max Verstappen right now, you're looking at a Newey-less Red Bull from 26 onwards, developing their own engine. Is Mercedes a more enticing prospect? From an engine point of view, I mean, I think you can argue that from day dot without this Newey stuff. But now from a chassis development point of view, look, without Newey steering that ship, it's impossible to know how much his influence has been in that team, especially more in recent years, right? Because look, let's not get it twisted, okay? The Red Bull Racing team is significant people knocking about, right? Obviously, Max and Checo in the cars, obviously Liam, the little reserve driver here. Christian, obviously, team boss, Newey, technical director, but Pierre Wache, don't forget him. Paul Monaghan, Jonathan Wheatley, Ben Waterhouse as well. This technical team is not just Newey, but Newey leads the impression. He's got the atmosphere around him. He's always knocking about with his notebook. He's under the cars, checking stuff out. Like, he knows ground effect better than anyone. This is what he wrote his dissertation on back when he was in university. Adrian knows how to make a ground effect car work. It is no coincidence that a man with his technical expertise in ground effect has produced one of the most dominant racing cars of all time in this ground effect era. Whoever snapped him up, wow, fair play. If, of course, I'm assuming someone else has snapped him up. Who do I think actually, realistically? I think Lawrence Stroll has the money. I could see Lawrence Stroll snapping him up. Do I see Ferrari? I mean, they're spending all this money on Lewis to get Adrian Newey in as well. I don't know, maybe it's a pretty exciting prospect, right? Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari. Ferrari's trajectory feels very good right now. Obviously, a lot of the Aston Martin technical team are ex-Red Bull as well, so they will know what it is to work with Newey. This one's come out of, I'd say it's come out of nowhere. I mean, it's been hinted at numerous times. We know that Newey and Horner have, or had, who knows right now, a very, very close relationship. We'll see how this goes. I've not got much more to say right now. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below on Adrian Newey leaving. Where is he going? My best guess would be Aston Martin. Maybe we'll know by the time I put this quick edit out. So thank you for watching. A few hours back home from South Africa and straight away on the news. So the fun never stops. My name's Tommo. Thanks again. Have a good ta-da.